Since 2022, junior software developer employment plummeted by 20% as AI absorbs boiler coding. This displacement scales globally, projecting 92 million lost jobs by 2030. However, structural churn yields 170 million new roles, netting 78 million new jobs. The public reaction is paralyzed by conflicting numbers. Headlines scream about nearly half of all jobs disappearing, while deeper economic studies point to a 20 to 30% exposure rate. The confusion comes from misunderstanding how the technology works. Artificial intelligence doesn't absorb entire human identities or full job descriptions. It dismantles specific, predictable digital tasks. We have seen this exact mechanism before. Past technological shifts automated distinct tasks, which lowered costs, freed up capital, and ultimately expanded the economy by creating new categories of work. Before automatic routing, managing telephone networks required massive rooms of operators physically plugging in wires. The manual task of routing disappeared, but the workers survived by pivoting into broader administrative and sales roles. You have a brief window right now to assess your own career. You have to figure out if you are paid for routine execution or if you are paid for outcome orchestration. If you assume you can keep coasting on basic white-collar digital execution, you will get caught in the transition. You have to take immediate action to survive. The occupations facing the most severe contraction share a specific profile. They rely entirely on digital environments, synthesize text and data, and operate on highly predictable logic. Customer service and telemarketing are the first in line. These are high-volume, heavily scripted roles where the economic incentive for companies to automate is overwhelming. This bar chart compares the math. A human Tier 1 support agent costs around $20 an hour. Conversational AI voice agents handle the exact same calls without latency for a fraction of a cent per message, or about 14 cents a minute. Data entry and manual bookkeeping face the same pressure. Advanced optical character recognition combined with AI agents can ingest invoices and instantly reconcile ledgers with 99.9% accuracy. This breaks the traditional corporate pipeline. Junior analysts used to grind through spreadsheet compilation to learn the finance industry. Now they have to enter the market already capable of providing high-level strategic advice. The highest status knowledge work is experiencing severe entry-level compression. Junior developers and legal researchers who historically felt secure are facing immediate displacement. When a senior software engineer or senior partner is augmented by an AI assistant, their output multiplies. This removes the need for 3 junior employees beneath them generating boilerplate code or contract review. Major enterprise companies are already adapting to this leverage. Executives are instituting mass hiring freezes on back-office and HR roles to integrate automated AI workflows. If your daily value comes from translating instructions into standard digital output, that value is approaching zero. You must pivot to strategic oversight. As AI clears out that routine digital execution, it is actively building a highly lucrative alternative economy. The biggest wealth generation of 2030 requires stepping outside the server rack and into the physical, human environment. 2 distinct groups will capture this wealth: the people who design the AI architecture and the people who operate entirely outside of its reach. The first group are the orchestrators. These are prompt engineers and systems architects who audit legacy corporate workflows and rebuild them as automated AI-driven pipelines. Companies that successfully integrate these systems experience huge productivity gains, allowing them to pay up to 62% higher wages for AI-fluent professionals over their non-skilled peers. The capital shift toward these systems is so aggressive, tech executives are funding universal basic income pilots to test economic shock absorbers for displaced workers. The second group relies on AI-resistant physical trades. An algorithm lives exclusively in the digital realm. It cannot wire a smart home, install a heat pump, or maintain a data center's cooling system. Because these physical roles are completely insulated from software automation and offshore outsourcing, a skilled tradesperson has a clear, direct path to building a highly profitable, multi-million-dollar local business. The third wealthy category involves complex human specialists. AI fails at establishing high-stakes trust, managing corporate politics, and executing multi-party negotiations. Enterprise sales directors and specialized healthcare practitioners will continue to capture high-end salaries because they rely on deep empathy, tactile feedback, and relationship building. Cybersecurity operates as a hybrid resistant field. Generative AI makes it incredibly cheap for malicious actors to write mutating malware, which guarantees massive ongoing demand for human defense specialists. Even in logistics, the disruption is nuanced. Autonomous trucks are taking over the open interstate, but navigating an urban apartment complex for a last-mile delivery still requires a human driver. Physical dexterity, complex trust, and legal liability form a protective economic moat around these careers. This decision tree maps out your safe options. The paths split into two main branches: AI-amplified orchestration and AI-resistant physical or human work. Successfully pivoting down either of these branches puts you on a trajectory well past $140,000 a year by 2030. Strategic success in 2030 relies on moving away from routine digital execution and doubling down on human judgment or physical reality. To accurately grade your current career risk, you have to ignore the headlines and run a specific 4-point self-assessment. We evaluate based on 4 key criteria. Do you rely on physical dexterity? Are the emotional stakes high? Is your daily data strictly predictable? And if a catastrophic error occurs, who holds the legal liability? If you score highly on predictable data and low on physical or emotional stakes, you need to trigger a 5-year action plan. Phase 1, covering your first 12 months, is audit and adopt. Deconstruct your job into daily tasks. Identify the highly repetitive digital work and actively use AI tools to automate your own output before management does it for you. Phase 2 covers years 2 through 5, focusing on targeting and upskilling. Do not take on debt for another 4-year degree. Acquire targeted, verifiable micro-credentials that bridge your current industry with technological oversight. This requires a harsh psychological reset. You must force a rebrand of your professional reputation, moving from someone who executes tasks to someone who oversees the final outcome. This upskilling imperative is a recognized global economic reality, not just a Silicon Valley trend. The market in 2030 will strictly pay for strategic leverage and human reality. Your choice is simple: be the one designing the prompts or the one replaced by them.